Hello, my B-side queens, this is Sayan. I swear I am one of the luckiest mothers in the world. My adult children amaze me almost daily, almost. Because sometimes they also send me a video late at night. Oh, this is so you, Mom. And I'm over here in my bonnet with my glasses on, squinting at my phone like I'm trying to read a ransom note, but that's for another day. Recently, I was having a conversation with my daughter, Aisha. We were discussing relationships when she made a statement that stopped me in my tracks. She said, I have to know if I'm with a team player or an opponent. Naturally, I asked, in what kind of relationship? Without missing a beat, Aisha replied, all the ships. And she went on to say friendships, relationships, partnerships, workships, churchships, memberships, hell, cruise ships, all the ships. Now, first I had to laugh because her sense of humor is incredible. And honestly, it skipped a generation because her grandmother had none. God rest her soul. And I'm just kidding. Mama had a sense of humor. But after I stopped laughing, I realized that she had said something that was profoundly wise. Because many of us have spent years, decades, trying to determine whether people like us, whether they agree with us, support us, or understand us. We have twisted ourselves into pretzels, trying to be likable, trying to be agreeable, to make sure everyone in the room is comfortable, even when we're the ones that are suffocating. Honey, I did it for years. I smiled through things that were breaking me, and I stayed in rooms that were draining me. I gave access to people who had not earned it because I thought that's what it was meant to be a good person. Maybe the question that would have saved me about 20 years of unnecessary exhaustion is the one my daughter asked. Are they a team player or an opponent? Now let me give you a breakdown, and I mean the real breakdown, not the soft, inspirational poster version, the kind you can actually use. A team player wants everyone to win. An opponent needs someone to lose. A team player celebrates your growth. An opponent becomes uncomfortable when you shine. And honey, you know which one you're dealing with because a team player will say, you look amazing in that dress. An opponent will say, oh, that's cute. Is that new? It just fits you. You know exactly who I'm talking about. A team player helps solve problems. An opponent creates them and then sits back to watch with the energy of someone who just started the fire and then pulled up a lawn chair to watch. A team player tells you the truth because they care. An opponent tells you what serves their agenda. Now listen, there is a difference between someone who tells you hard truth with love and someone who tells you hard truths to wound you. A team player checks on you after the conversation. An opponent brings it up again and again at the next gathering in front of people. Now here's where it gets interesting, because opponents do not always announce themselves. They rarely arrive wearing a jersey with opponent written across the front, although that would be convenient. I'd love that. That would save us all so much time and therapy money. No, sometimes they arrive disguised as friends, as family, as colleagues, as spouses, as people who live in our own homes, people we love, people that we choose, people that we have built lives with. And what is the painful part is because there's only one thing to identify an opponent when they're clearly against you. It's another thing entirely when they used to be the one on your team. And somewhere along the way, something shifted. The energy changed. The support dried up. The celebration stopped. And you kept on showing up to practice, not realizing that you had been traded. Some of y'all know exactly what I mean. But here's the part I really need us to sit with if we're honest with ourselves. Sometimes the opponent has been the voice in our own heads. The one that gets loudest at 3 in the morning when you're lying there in the dark staring at the ceiling, replaying a conversation from 2009. Really, for real? That voice that says you're too old. It's too late. Who do you think you are? Nobody wants to hear what you have to say. You should have done this differently. You should have been more. You should have been less. You should have known better. That voice is certainly not a team player. That voice has never brought snacks to the practice, has never encouraged you at halftime. That voice has been standing on the sidelines with its arms folded since 1987. And many of us, by the time we reach this season of life, we've gotten used to this voice. We think it's just our voice. We think it's the truth. We have confused an opponent with a narrator. But I'm going to tell you something. One of the blessings of reaching this season of life is that we have earned through experience enough wisdom, enough battle scars, enough mornings we didn't think we'd see to begin to realize the patterns. We know the difference between someone who wants to help us build and someone who enjoys watching us struggle. We know the difference between correction and criticism, between support and control, between concern and competition, between someone who prays for you and someone who prays on you. We have lived long enough to know the difference, I hope. And perhaps the greatest lesson, the one I'm still learning, is being transparent. And perhaps the greatest lesson, the one I'm still learning, if I'm being transparent with you, is this. You do not need opponents in spaces where you require partners. Life is challenging enough. We have already navigated enough. We've carried enough, and we've survived enough. And at this stage, I want people around me who clap when I win, people who tell me the truth without making me feel small, people who carry the vision, who bring peace instead of confusion, who understand that we are not in competition, we are in communion. We are on the same team. So today I want to leave you with the question my daughter unknowingly gave us all, because Aisha didn't know she was preaching that day. She thought she was just having a conversation, but I wrote it down because that's what mothers do. We archive the wisdom our children stumble into. So look around your life and all of your ships. Who's a team player? Who's been playing like an opponent? Who needs to be gently and lovingly released from the roster? And just as importantly, which one have you been to yourself? Because before you can build a winning team around you, you have got to become the kind of teammate you deserve. Cheer for yourself. Show up for yourself. Tell yourself the truth with love. Stop benching your own dreams because someone else on the field made you feel like you didn't belong in the game. You belong in the game. You have always belonged in the game. And baby, it's not too late to play. That's something to think about. Stay on the B side. That's where the classics live. Because the record is not over yet.